Greetings of the day. Today our session is on the Trade Union Act 1926. The objective of the session is to let you understand that what are the objectives of the Act, how the Trade Union Act is beneficial to the trade unions as well as to the workers, why the trade unions are required, what is the exact definition of the trade union, how the trade unions take up the matter in the form of the strikes or in the form of the demands or in the form of the feedback or the suggestion in the desk of the management. So Trade Union Act today we are going to understand. The outcome of this session will be having the clarity of the Trade Union Act in thick and thin line difference. Trade Union Act. Trade Union Act 1926, the one of the earliest act relating to the labor. So until the act was enacted, the workers did not know the importance of being an organized force. As there was no collective action, the workers were made at the mercy of the employers. So it had to be contended with the wages. The Trade Union Act legalizes the formation of the trade unions by allowing the people the right to form, organize the unions, also permit any 7 people to form the union, get it registered under the Trade Union Act 1926. The Trade Union Act, which is treated as the trade union under the Act of 1926, which extends to the whole of the India, also came in force as per the date of central government, the notification of the official gazette. Now, what is actually the trade union? Trade union is the combination, whether the temporary or the permanent form of the workers joined together for the purpose of regulating the relations between the workmen and the workers, for imposing the restrictive conditions or for the conduct of the trade, conduct of the business, or I can say it is an agreement between the partners of the business, or I can say it is the agreement between the employer and those who are employed with him as per the employment process. Not only this, it is the agreement in the consideration of the sale of the goodwill of the business. Now, what are the objects of the Act? If anyone asks you that the objects of the Trade Union Act are to provide or to promote basically both the individual and the collective welfare. It is to secure the payment of the wages, salaries, allowances of the worker, to ensure the safety, security to the employment of the worker, to ensure the good working conditions of the worker, to secure the opportunities for the promotion to the workers, or if I say it assists to the collective bargaining and to help the workers to ensure the worker participation in the different field or with the different discussions with the management. That is also not wrong, right? So this is the act objective. Now, if anyone asks you that what is the registration and do the registration of the trade union is required. So, trade union registration, in the trade union registration where the trade union, which is the combination of the temporary or the permanent formed particularly or primarily for the purpose of regulating the relationships between the workmen and the employer, or you can say between the employee and the employer, or to impose any conditions which includes any federation of 2 or more trade unions. So here definitely the registration of the trade union is, and where for this purpose the appointment of registrars under the Act, under the section 3 of Act 26, 1926 is there, where the appropriate government appoint as many additional deputy registrars of the trade union and think fit for the purpose of, exercising or discharging their duties. Where within any such additional deputy registrar exercise their duties to discharge the powers and to discharge the functions, the trade union is there. And now no doubt there is a mode of the registration, definitely, where the 7 or the more members of the trade union are there, their names to the rule of the trade union is there. There provided no trade union of the workmen shall be registered unless at least 10% or 100 of the workmen, whichever is less, is engaged in the establishment. So this is the condition of the registration and of the trade union. Now, if anyone asks you directly that is it possible to cancel the registration? So, cancellation of the registration, before the cancellation of the registration, let me clearly explain you that definitely for the registration, the registrar, if satisfied with the trade union, has compiled or completed with all the requirements regarding that, then with those particular conditions campaigned with the application, they will get the registration. Now for that, the registration certificate is given as an evidence, which is duly signed by the registrar in the as per the Registration Act, right? So definitely it depends upon either at the will of the registrar for this purpose. In case of the cancellation, if the certificate is not issued, then the cancellation is as the registration certificate is issued by the registrar of the trade union. It may be withdrawn, it may be cancelled by the registrar under the provision of Trade Union Act. So it is either on the will of the registrar or on the application of the trade union, as it is written here. So on the application of the trade union means when the members of the trade union themselves, they don't want to get it registered for a longer period or any longer. So at that moment, on that application, trade union get cancelled either because of death or because of any change of any member. Other is at the will of the registrar, because when the registrar himself or herself is not satisfied, then at that moment the certificate of the registration issued to the trade union is withdrawn, cancelled on the grounds that it is received on the basis of some fraud or mistake, or it ceased to exist, or trade union itself willingly to get it cancelled. Now, no doubt it is provided that not less than 2 months previous notice in writing specifically on the grounds on which it is withdrawn should be informed. Then on that basis, on that notice, they can cancel it. Now, if I talk about that, do we appeal for that if it is cancelled? Yes, we can appeal for under the section 11 that the aggrieved party by any refusal of the registrar to the register of trade union, they can appeal for that why it is cancelled. So for that purpose, the head office of the trade union, wherever it is situated, because though otherwise it is situated within the limit of the presidency town of the High Court, so they can they can send an appeal. Right. So where that head office is situated in an extra in that area following the jurisdiction of the labor court. And here the appellant court may dismiss the appeal or may pass that appeal. Again, that depends upon the court. Right. Now the registered office. Now what is that point of registered office? Registered office is under section 12, the incorporation of the registered trade union. So here it is that whatever the communication and the notice to the registered trade union, it is addressed to the registered office. Notice of any change, any alteration in the address to the head office is given, and that should be within 14 days of any change. Remember, let me clear you, it should be within 14 days of any change to the registrar, and it should be in writing. Then is incorporation of the registered trade union. So dear, in case of the incorporation of trade union, where every registered trade union shall be the body corporate under which is registered and shall have perpetual succession, common seal within the power to acquire and hold, both property, movable or immovable property, right? So this is your what we say, the incorporation. Now, but yes, certain act is not applicable to the registered trade union, like the Society Registration Act, like your Cooperative Societies Act, like the Companies Act. I hope it is clear. Now, let us talk about the rights and liabilities of registered trade union. See, the rights and liabilities are of the registered trade union, where the objects on which the journal funds may be spent under section 15 are payment of salary, expenses, or to conduct any trade dispute, compensation of the members and loss arising out of the trade union, any allowance to the member due to death, due to old age, or due to any accident, right? And either for any liability under the policy of assurance for the lives of the member. So all these are included in this rights and liabilities. I hope this much is clear. I try to make this session clear with you people.